VLR.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz is a Republican and our guest tonight. Senator, good to see you. What's it like to be the most hated man in America?
Molly, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. Congratulations. Holy moly. Number
so
170 countries. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, thank
You're
you
having
so
a good day today.
I am, besides the fact that I'm catching pneumonia in your studio right now.
It's very cold, but you have to wear clothes when you come on here. That's how you
I
make it warmer.
asked if I could bring a blanket, and they looked at me like I was crazy, but I was ready to sit there
Probably
and
get you a blanket
do the
and
interview.
cozy up.
Next, news, entertainment, etc. Tonight with Jonathan D. Sangster.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Next. I'm Jonathan Sangster. How y'all doing tonight? Tonight we've got Taylor as our producer.
Yes,
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row with the same producer. I think that's a new record for the show.
Yeah. You know, it's how it happens. We do like to do musical chairs, and you know, before we go even further, only because I'm sure I'm going to weigh in on stuff, I need to play something which, even though it says Saturday Night Cigar Lounge, it covers for this show too. So, hang on a second.
This is the Pint-Sized Pundit, and I am here to tell you that anything Taylor says on Saturday Night Cigar Lounge is his opinion and his opinion only. He does not speak for his employer, his employer's employer, or anyone else. He especially doesn't speak for Liz unless she says so.
It's just good to have the Pint-Sized Pundit weigh in on stuff sometimes.
Always good to have that voice out of your head.
Well, you know, it's just to be safe because, well, yes, this is your show. You know I'm going to weigh in on stuff, so.
Oh, yes. You? Never.
Yeah. Taylor, talk? What?
People,
no.
any of the hosts on this station weigh in on stuff? No. None of us have opinions.
None of us do. Plus, I didn't have, you know, there was no Saturday Night Cigar Lounge last night because I made the mistake of going to what was essentially a Detroit Red Wings home game at the American Airlines Center in Dallas.
Oh, yeah. They decided to play both sides for you.
I you know something? And Mary Chastain, if you're listening, I'm sorry to go after your team, but Blackhawks games, hence Mary Chastain, and Red Wings games are starting to become games that I don't like going to. Not because the Stars lose, which does happen from time to time, but because, you know, the people who root for the Stars, you know, 80 games out of the year, who then start rooting for the Blackhawks or the Red Wings, always show up in their Red Wings colors. And so they're going, how many of y'all root for the Stars most of the time?
2.
Raise
you
your
and
hands.
someone else.
Uh-huh. I see everybody but the 3 drunkards over there, the 2 hot chicks over there, okay. Everybody else, go get your Stars gear, come back. You guys can stay.
Well, at least you got to enjoy the other game. Since you went to 2.
The Allen Americans. I went to 3 this week.
3? Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I went to Stars Kings on New Year's Eve and sat next to a Kings fan, of course.
There you go. They're good people.
You know, something. This one actually was pretty cool people. This
a
guy
Kings
was in
fan.
a rockabilly punk band. and he had a little Elvis thing going.
Elvis.
That's a quote from him. And then I went to the Allen Americans game with Chad Kent, Kelly Renee. I went with her. I went with... I'm going to get all these names correctly. Because it's a good thing to do. I went with Chrissy Bella. And I went with... Michael the designer. It was fun.
Well, that's good. You got to enjoy one of the two. The ice isn't the only thing that's cold though right now.
No, that is very true.
Let's see. Updating the weather.com map real quick. Looks like northern Minnesota is winning for the U.S. right now with -24.
It's warmed up there, hasn't it? Wasn't it 0 a couple of minutes ago, and now it's 3?
Yes, it was 1, and now it's 3 according to them. But who knows? They could have changed which side of town they're reading from too.
That's true.
Yeah, they're good about doing that here.
A little bit.
Or they'll read it from the airport. Which, if you've ever been to Denver, the airport's halfway to Kansas. It's not in town. So it has a different weather than any part of the city does, actually. Yeah, so sometimes we'll have the temperature from there, and it's like 6-8 degrees off of the rest actuality for the town.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, joys of Denver. They just like to do that to us.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for those of you who have somehow missed it, pretty much all of the U.S. and definitely all of Canada are experiencing rather cold temperatures right now. They're calling it the coldest temperatures in at least 2 decades. Some people have been saying 3 decades, but the latest is officially 20 years. So, sorry, Al Gore, about your global warming, but it died.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I do believe in global warming. I also believe in global cooling. I also believe that it happens on a normal basis and that humans have very little to do with it. They have some, but very little.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you look at papers from the 70s, they were freaking out about global cooling. In the 40s, there was some worries about global warming. In the 20s, there's a little bit of stuff still where people worried a little about global cooling. It's, cyclic. Every couple decades, it seems to shift one way or the other. And it's just now people get paid millions of dollars to freak us out with science. So we have the global warming and global cooling scares from them.
I love I loved the pause that you had, where you're just like, what?
I was like, wait for it.
Wait for it. Oh, there we go.
No, I've met a few conservatives on Twitter who are diehard believers in that humans are the harbingers and doomers of the world because global warming is our fault. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. I was like, I don't think you're one of those, but, I don't think you and I have discussed that before, so you never know. No. I'm not no. I believe that the Earth will, that the Earth happens to do, that the Earth happens to do both. Yeah.
So.
Annually and every few decades.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is cool. The guy who exposed who exposed the fraud in Obamacare with Sangster, with not Sangster, you're Sangster, with O'Keefe. I had the J right. With James O'Keefe, just endorsed just endorsed Ken Paxton for Attorney General. So
Interesting.
that will make people happy.
Yeah, definitely interesting good news there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's cold. It's very
cold, yes. What, the only states so far that haven't seen below freezing temperatures are Hawaii and Florida. It had been Louisiana too, but I'm looking there, and looks like Baton Rouge is at 29 now. So Baton Rouge is off the map for, leave it. Hawaii and Florida, the only places you can escape freezing temperatures.
Well, there you go.
So choose alligators or volcanoes, one of the two.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're nice, generally quiet volcanoes, so that's something.
Yeah, that is true.
And they normally do end up with snow on top of them, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One of the funny things about living in Arizona, and you know this because you were there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there was one day I walked outside, and you can actually see in Phoenix. You can actually see the mountains, not too far away. I mean, they're in the distance, but not too bad. And I went and looked, and I'm like, wait, what am I staring there? And I looked, and they were covered in snow. It rained where I was, but the mountains were all covered in snow, and that's what people forget is that if you go just 90 minutes north to Flagstaff, out of Phoenix, just 90 minutes north, the temperature drops 30 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Right now it's 26 in Flagstaff, 57 in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 54 in Tucson, so it's colder in Tucson.
Yeah. I came very, very close, or I pondered the idea of moving to Flagstaff and just dealing with the 90-minute drive every day. But I was like, no, I don't want to put that on my car.
Much better to get the money to have two houses, one in the city and one your weekend home.
Yeah.
That's so much better.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Of course, I've seen that in Denver sometimes where it was a few years ago now, like actually maybe 6, I think. But where I lived out in East Aurora, so on the eastern side of the metro area, it was almost white out snowing. And it was church night, and I was messaged a friend. I wasn't sure I was going to make it because of snow, and they were like, "What snow?" They sent me a picture, blue skies. So I drive about 2 miles. The snow's letting up as I get. I get to where the I-25 is. It's raining. I get to church. It's dry. It didn't rain and it snowed. It's dry. I'm like, yep. That's Denver for you. You know, we joke about, you move 5, or you wait 5 minutes, the weather will change. Well, you move 5 miles across the city and the weather will change here too.
Yeah.
Except right now, it's just cold right now.
Yeah.
But
it's pretty much cold all over.
Got about 5-6 inches of snow here, just because it got too cold to snow. Mm-hmm. That's always a fun term. When the first time I say that in front of someone who's never heard it, too cold to snow. You can always tell the people from the warmer climates when they don't understand that one. It's once it gets too cold, the moisture doesn't get there for it to actually come down and snow. It just is cold.
Yeah.
And yeah. Otherwise, you don't have how many thousands of feet of snow would be in Antarctica?
Yeah, that's true. Or in the Arctic, for that.
Yeah, either way. Yeah. Or Alaska, or half of Canada, and Minnesota.
So,
I think I'm picking on Minnesota tonight. I don't know why.
You're just bitter about how you're just bitter